Turn that one off. This is interfering. Can everybody hear me? Okay, so I was just speaking over there. I'm very passionate about what is taking place in our country, not just our country, around the world. If you've not been paying attention, the UK government is not just working on their own, they're working in lockstep with the governments around the world. All governments are following the same orders of COVID-19, the killer virus that you should all be scared of is actually flu. It's flu, folks. It's another strain of flu. I've been on this journey for about 4 years, trying to wake people up on what's coming, mandatory vaccines, the chip. Everyone, right, hold your hands up. Who knows about the chip? Just to show hands. Okay.
Body activated.
Okay, the chip. Let me tell you now, you are not going to be implanted with a chip, okay? They are not going to implant you with a chip.
Not yet.
Hold on, they want to turn me up.
You don't
Can you hear me now?
Body activated data chip is already
Hello?
registered.
Hear me? Hear me? Okay. Okay, so it's not the mark of the, well, it is the mark of the beast, but we won't get all religious here. It's not going to be an implanted RFI chip. It's going to be your biometrics. Your biometrics, your fingerprint is unique to you. 7 billion people, 9 billion people, how many there are in the world. You've all got an individual imprint, which is your fingerprint. You've also got your retinas and you've also got your facial recognition. The ID Vaccine Alliance, the people that have Bill Gates, all these world leaders sitting on that table, this is where they want this to go. This, have you heard of the saying, problem, reaction, solution? Okay, the problem is COVID-19, we've got a killer virus, we need to lock down the world, shut the world down, shut your business down, social distancing, make it very hard for you. Every little bit of your life has been impacted and you want to go back to normal, do you not? Do you want to go back to normal? You want to have the life you did? Exactly. So you going back to normal means that you need to prove that you've either got antibodies for COVID-19 or you've been tested and you're negative. This will come in the form of a health passport. These people have already got this, they're already making it, these partners. Last night I found a documentation from Dakota, who is pretty much Bill Gates' protege. She works for Garve and she is the director of ID 2020. They're already in discussion now talking about the safety of this immunity passport, because this is digital. Digital crime is on the increase. So they want you to believe that if they bring this out, we've got to make it safe. Therefore, we've got to have government regulation. This is where it's going, people. This mandatory face mask wearing on public transport, and I've got the documentation with me, by Matthew Hancock. He's talking about drips and drabs. First it was public transport, then it's the health service. The 24th of July, the 24th of the 7th, 24/7. They want you wearing a face covering. Did you know there is a statutory instrument that regulates face covering? Remember this, my people, this is a face covering. Do you really think this is protecting you? Because they clearly state wearing a face covering is not about protecting you, it's not personal protective equipment that they offer you in the health service. This is a face covering, and a face covering is as long as it covers your mouth and nose. Well, my G-string covers my mouth and nose.
And little else, may I say.
And if you think that that's protecting you, well, then you are the C-U-N Tuesday. No pun intended. Yes, people, this is where it's going. I've been banging on about this for the last 4 years, but when we're all living our lives, going about our daily lives, watching X Factor, running our businesses, running our homes, we're not paying attention, people are not listening. People need to listen now. because your face covering and your acquiescence and you abiding by it is one step closer to them bringing forth that if you want to participate, you need an immunity passport. And that immunity passport is that you are subsequent to testing. Have you seen the tests?
Yeah.
Have you seen how violent and nasty those tests are?
Yeah.
Back up your nose.
They invade the blood-brain barrier.
Exactly. Now, when you've been tested or when you've had the vaccine, that vaccine's only going to last you for 1 year.
Yep.
Is this not what we have with the flu vaccine every year? Every year we have a flu vaccine, a flu shot. There is a video on YouTube, again with the director of ID 2020, who is Bill Gates' protege, Bill Gates from hell, Kill Bill, the guy who seems to have all this influence, and when you follow the money, he bribes the BBC, he bribes the news agencies, he's bribing the army, and your cult leader, Boris Johnson, has already signed a pact with Bill Gates to offer them, I don't even know how many billions. Exactly, loads of billions to find a vaccine. That meeting says around 60% of the population that don't have a vaccine, and Dakota, who was on a meeting for ID 2020, said that is 60% of the sales missed for vaccinating people. This is not about health, this is about making a lot of money. Matt Hancock, he is the health secretary. If you go on Company House, the health secretary has 75% shares in a vaccine manufacturer company. The white paper that was produced for ID 2020 also has conflict of interest into the technology to run out this immunity passports. These immunity passports will be running off your phones. Apple, if you, those of it, right, who's in the crowd that opens the phone with your biometrics? You're using your fingerprint. Those of you that are entering work buildings, are you not using biometrics to get in with your fingerprints? They're already prepping you.
They've had it in schools for years.
Who here uses Snapchat? Okay, Snapchat for the young ones. The young ones. Snapchat have been using a filter, the face mask filter, for the last 2 years. This is predictive programming, folks. They predicted programming you for years. The Rockefeller Foundation, who knows about the Rockefellers? Okay? The Rockefellers are part of the banking and the medical mafia. 10 years ago, they wrote a document about what is exactly happening right now, that all the countries around the world will work in lockstep. China would be at the forefront. Now, as we're talking about China, and this is where it gets insidious, this may be those of you that watch Black Mirror will then be able to dot connect. The Chinese credit social system. Oh, it might be happening over there, it might be happening in China, but if you're not paying attention, all our governments are in lockstep. They are following the same protocol with social distancing, locking the country down. They're all working together. That document talked about the constant control of people, and China would be at the forefront. The Chinese credit score have been issuing every citizen with 1,000 points. If the government, like I regularly do on my social media platform, I would be downgraded. My downgraded score would allow me not to travel, not allow me to have loans, participate into society. So what am I going to do? I'm going to be a good little slave because my points are going to be deducted. They've been doing this for several years and they are about to roll it out this year. This is what is coming to our country. If you've not paid attention, this country is a crown-owned state by the Queen. I can't speak on this system in the park because the Queen says I cannot. The Queen's very influential. She owns the Commonwealth countries. She owns Australia. One of the states in Australia is Victoria. When I heard what was taking place in Australia, I felt sick. 3,000 citizens have been incarcerated, imprisoned into 9 multi-storey block flats. Why? Because there's an increase of the flu. The flu. Yet their fundamental human rights have been withdrawn, and do you know what's really sad? No one is doing anything about it. So what are you going to do when they come for you? Because if you think they're not coming for you, you've got a very rude awakening. In this country, we've got Leicestershire on lockdown, 8 counties on lockdown, 20 counties, 20 cities have been identified to be locked down. What they will do is they've locked down the country as a social experiment to see how well we could conform. We conformed like good little sheep. Good little sheep. I will be with you in a minute. They're then going to lock down Leicestershire. I saw a video footage today. Council workers were entering flats and they were door-to-door knocking, making you have the test. This is where it's going, and most people will comply. Most people will comply on public transport. It's just a mask. I just want to travel. I'll just wear my mask. Please, sir, I want to return back to normal life. Please, sir, I'll have that immunity passport. Well, guess what? When you have that immunity passport and your cash at the moment's gone, the banks, and that's a story for another time, the real people that are running things is not your government, it's the banks, the international bankers that run from the Basel, Switzerland. Your money is your freedom. You don't wear a mask, what are they doing? Fining you. Money. Yep. If you don't do this, we're fining you. Money is what's controlling you. And if you've not been paying attention, at the brink of this, people would say I was selfish because my concern was the economic degradation that's about to hit this country. We're about to hit something that we've never ever seen, that is not even on proportion with the Great Depression. Millions of people will be unemployed, going on to universal credit, and under a Tory government in the last 10 years, 120,000 people have died as a result of austerity measures. Your universal credit payment is dependent on you filling in forms, you abiding, you being a good little slave. Those of you that are still using cash, I can still transact. You've still got the freedom. When they take away money, the cash, the bank controls you. The bank controls you anyway through your birth certificate. We're all slaves. This agenda, when I woke up 4 years ago, was exactly what was taking place now. This was the end of our human rights. This was controlling a world population, and this was a depopulation agenda. A depopulation, if you've not been paying attention. Care homes. Who's going first? The old people. The old people that have got no families. There's a care home near me. 68 residents they had prior to COVID. They're down to 12. Whistleblowers told me they've been increasing their medication.
It was genocide.
It's genocide. Liverpool Pathways has been a legal standing to kill off the old people. Old people don't pay into the system, running the immune system. Let's talk about face coverings. Let's talk about face coverings.
Everything here.
Dodgy connection. It's alright. Everything that I'm talking about can be verified. I'm not standing here as some crazy conspiracy tinfoil hat wearing nut job. I'm actually a mother. I'm intelligent. I've got a very credible credible background in work history, business and finance, retail and distribution. I'm a fitness coach, I'm a mother, I'm passionate. But do you know what? I do my independent research. I do not believe the government. I do not believe the government. I do not believe the mainstream media because they lie.
All the time.
So let's talk about face coverings. Now they're telling you, they came out and addressed that this is the law. This is mandatory. Well, I've checked the UK regulations. There is nothing to dictate you wearing a face covering in a shop. The only statutory instrument, okay, a statutory instrument in a brief nutshell, you've got regulations, then as they see fit under an emergency, they will bring out statutory instruments. This is where this is coming into effect. This is only applicable for public transport. Only applicable for public transport. There's nothing legislation-wise about face coverings in shops. Now, for those of you that don't want to wear a face covering because you know this bullshit, and you don't have a medical condition, because that would be lying. I don't have a medical condition, but wearing a face covering, knowing what I know, and the fact that they do reduce your oxygen, they make it harder to breathe. You breathe in part of the CO2 into you, and it protects nothing. It doesn't protect you. To me, that will cause me severe distress, and that is an exemption of wearing face coverings. If you feel extreme distress, you are exempt. There is no regulation about you providing proof. Doctors they've had the authority from above to tell them not to issue medical exemptions. So you go into your doctor telling them, I've got anxiety, I've got this, I don't want to wear it. Your doctor won't give a shit because they've been told from above that they're not to issue anything. So if you don't want to wear one, your reason is extreme distress. Now, are we not in a day of age if we're not allowed to discriminate people?
Yeah.
So why would I then notify everybody that I have a disability?
Yep.
I don't have a disability, but there could be some people that for the fear factor wearing a face covering could bring up post-traumatic stress, that they've been suffocated, claustrophobia. So why have I then got to tell the public transport jobs when they challenge me that I've got a disability?
Yep.
It's a separate issue altogether. The point I want to drill home with you people is what is coming. This documentation is a 28-page immunity certificates. If we must have them, we must do them right. This is part of ID 2020 Dakota, who is the protege of Bill Gates. This document tells you they are going to roll out immunity passports. And for you to have your immunity passport, you've either got to have antibodies or you've got to be tested negative. So you've got to comply. Because if you want to go back into normal life, you want a public transport, you want your children to go to school, you want to participate in gatherings, you've got to prove your identity and your immunity. That information will be controlled by your government. You know, the very government that is controlling you, the very government that works hand in hand with the private bankers, that uses usury, that the Queen who says I can't speak in there, that signed a coronation oath, who said usury would be against the law, is allowing the private banking mafia to use usury. How many here have a mortgage?
Yep.
Who has a mortgage? The bank never lent you a penny. The banking mafia is the biggest scam going on this planet. We are all stock. We are all slaves. And those of you with the black lives, I'm here with a black Jamaican guy, maroon descendant. He doesn't represent Black Lives Matter. He represents the black man that does get discriminated. We do have discrimination in this country. It's a fact. And do you know where that's going? I don't wear a face mask.
Yep.
You're going to racially discriminate me because I'm not wearing a face mask. I'm going to be seen as a social disorder and an outcast. They're already programming the people to view me as antisocial.
Yep.
I'm not antisocial, I'm a passionate mother. I've got 2 young kids and I am scared shitless. I apologise for any kids in here, for the future that is coming. George Orwell. Okay, George Orwell. Hands up who knows who George Orwell. 1984. 1984. The Orwellian dystopian future he tried to warn us. Did you know the Corona Act and these unlawful lockdowns and all this insidious social distancing, closing your businesses down, comes under the Public Health Act of 1984. Nothing's by coincidence, people. This is all a show. This is all... the government's in on it. Why would the government mandate mandatory face masks 10 days? If this was about safety, they would mandate it now. And let's talk about safety. Can I cast your minds back to when this all happened in China? Before it hit our shores? What did we see in the propaganda? Was we not seeing people in hazmat suits? Was we not seeing people dropping down dead? Was there a killer virus? Hospitals overloaded, can't cope. That was the reason why our country went into lockdown. The statistics are in. People are not dying. The hospitals overloaded. The propaganda when this went into, before we locked down, Italy was overrun, hospitals overrun. When we went into lockdown, I saw hospitals doing TikTok videos. TikTok videos. I saw a TikTok video of them carrying a body out. What's that all about? Is that not insensitive to the people that have lost? I'm not standing here and I'm not saying there isn't a virus that's killing people. There is a virus. It is killing people. It is going to kill people that are of a certain age, that have got pre-existing conditions. It will kill you like flu kills you. I want to remind you, we shut our country on the 22nd of March. On the 11th of May, our cult leader, one of which, Chris Whitty, he's the chief medical advisor. Sounds very authority, doesn't he? Sounds very credible. He works for the government. He's the chief medical advisor. We've got a killer virus. We've got to lock the country down. We've got to shut everything down. Cause mental health, abuse in the homes. How many deaths from suicide has this lockdown caused? I quote, on the 11th of May, 2 months after we've locked down. Most people will never get it. Most people will get it, but they won't experience systems. Most people experience systems won't need any medical care. Most people who need medical care will not need an emergency. And even the tiny percentage, less than 1%, you've got a 99.5% chance of surviving. Cancer has 1.2 chances. Are we shutting the world down to stop you eating your crap, drinking in the poison foods? Pollution kills you. Smoking. You know them cigarettes that the government legalises in the shop that makes £12 billion, but only 8 billion is done on medical healthcare, so they're actually profiting, like, what's that, 4 billion on smoking cancer sticks that's killing you, but your government lets you. But we're worried about people dying. People need to get in their heads. This virus isn't about you dying. That's not me being ignorant or me being derogatory to anyone that's lost a member of family, friend or family that has contracted this virus, has been told this is COVID and has died. It's a very sad state of affairs. It's awful. This isn't about you dying. This is about virus where you're dropping down dead, the health service can't cope, police can't cope, we've got to shut the country down. That's not what's happening. We've got the flu, folks. And I'd like to say again, the percentage of those who will contract it won't even die. On the 19th of March, we shut our country down on the 22nd of March. We shut our country down on the 22nd of March because of a killer virus. This highly contagious, deadly virus is going to kill you, that is spread. On the 19th of March, the government, and you can go and check this on their website, downgraded this to a non-highly consequence infectious disease.
But no one's looking.
Here's the kicker.
I could post it left, right and centre.
COVID-19 is classed as SARS.2.
Yep.
It's the second version. SARS is listed as a high consequence infectious disease. Infected over 1 billion people worldwide. Did we shut the world down? Did we wear mandatory face masks? No. COVID-19 is not a highly contagious infectious disease. So why are we shutting the why are we shutting the country down? This isn't a virus, this isn't a killer virus. If you're listening to the government and our cult leaders, if you're listening to the mainstream media, they are going to sell this, that this is a killer virus. Killer virus? The World Health Organization in 2017 will tell you 650,000 people have died. 650,000 people die of flu every year.
I hope so.
1 billion people. Oh, get the paedophile out. Right, the Irishman that's over there with the Zionist logo, Ian Hoffman, is a paedophile. Sorry, he's not convicted. He did confirm he was naked with a 7-year-old girl tickling her. But we'll come back to here. So,
ignore him.
650,000 people die of the flu every year. COVID-19 statistics of today's date. The current statistics. We're not even on par with flu season. Every year we've got the deadly flu. 598,000 people have only been affected. And that is with those that have had their death certificates put down. That in that number includes those that have had their deaths registered as COVID.
All fake.
If you've seen what's happening, what's taking place in the health service, all deaths are going down as COVID-19 to make this case stand. So let me come back to the fact this is not about a virus, folks. This is the flu. COVID-19 is another strain of flu. Bill Gates, the killer. This is the face, this is the Antichrist. Kill Bill Gates of hell is the Antichrist. He is influencing. He's influencing the world. He has shares. You want to do a petition? You want to petition the government? You want to petition what's going on? Change.org. Who owns shares in Change.org? Bill Gates. The BBC, the bullshit propaganda like communications. Who's got shares? Bill Gates. The World Health Organization. Oh, let's talk about the World Health Organization and the fact that we have a known paedophile that's not been convicted that is in this crowd that turns up everywhere. The World Health Organization, this credible agency, is dictating about COVID and your health, and they really give a shit about you. They recommend that masturbation for 0 to 4-year-olds, 4-year-old children should be taught about masturbation. The same people who are dictating the world about the killer virus, you know, the common human coronavirus. This is from the CDC website, and it states on there, the common human coronavirus in bold should not be confused with COVID-19. Why not? Why not? Because their agenda is insidious. Their agenda is to bring forth a immunity passport. They've locked the world down. They're making you beg for it. They want. Am I here? Am I here?
Yeah.
I'm about to get down. Other speakers want to speak. So the point I want to drill down. We need to stop acquiescing and stop consenting, because this is not going to stop with a face mask. A face mask just to travel will then be into an immunity passport to interact, will then be into mandatory vaccination. That vaccination has not passed the safety testing. It is already been stockpiled. That vaccination will kill you, will harm you, will maim you. And do you know what? The manufacturers won't give a shit because there's no immunity. You'll be going in a vaccine damage court. Thank you.
I've been following this for 40 years, but I really believe
That's what COVID is, honestly. Oh, Jane. Yeah, Jane feels like Jane. I'm with a cat. So, COVID, Certificate of Vaccine Identification. That's what it stands for. Vaccine Identification, COVID. COVID-ID.
Yeah, I think so.
Identification. They're clever bastards with their words.